Hey there everybody, this is Kevin Storm Jorgensen, instructional designer, learning consultant, and university lecturer at San Diego State University. And today we're going to take a look at some free, online, AI-driven resources that you can use to create instructional content. And we're going to use them to create an introductory video to a workplace training module on prioritization. So let's jump in. So the first site we're going to take a look at is called copy.ai, and it uses artificial intelligence to help you write content. In fact, it can write a lot of its own content for you. So we're going to use it to help us create this written content that we're going to then bring over to the next site, which is going to be called steve.ai, and steve.ai will take that written content and convert it into a video. And then that video will be used as our introduction to this training module on prioritization. So for copy.ai, it is, as I said, a free resource. You can sign up and get the trial version for free, and it gives you more than enough capabilities in the trial to create as much content as you may need, but you can upload or you can upgrade to the paid version, which gives you even more capabilities. But for today, we're just going to use the free version. So I will go ahead and hit New Project. And in the new project request, in the new project fields here, it's going to ask us what is our product called, and we are creating a training. So let's go ahead and tell it what we're doing. So we're going to create so it's an introductory. Actually, no, it's not an introductory. We are going to be creating an introductory video, but the product is more of the training module that we are trying to create. So it is a workplace training module on prioritization using the Eisenhower matrix. If you're not familiar with the Eisenhower matrix, I highly recommend you take a look at it. It is a tool that can be used to help you prioritize your daily tasks. So that is what we're going to be training today. So that is what our product is called. It's a little bit of a description. Actually, we're going to describe it even more. And what we're doing right now is feeding the algorithm with information that it can use to generate the content for us. So this is a workplace training module for supervisors and managers that will help them prioritize their daily tasks by using the Eisenhower matrix. There we go. So that describes our product a little bit more, and then we're going to choose a tone in which this content is written in. And since this is going to be professional content for a professional workplace, we're going to choose the professional tone. And at that, I will hit Create Content. And so now the AI is looking at what we've given it, and it is doing some searching and figuring out on how it could arrange that into copy that we could use, into written content. And then it's going to give us, as you see here, some paragraphs for us to consider in using. So the first one, here's a note, you should always proofread whatever the AI gives you, because the AI can go off into some very weird places. It could not understand what you're really trying to say and give you some really strange ideas or strange places or strange things that it writes for you. So you always have to proofread whatever it gives you to make sure it's staying on topic. So the first bit of text that it is giving us is this workplace training module for supervisors and managers will help you prioritize your work. Using the Eisenhower matrix, you will learn to analyze tasks based on urgency and importance, then choose the tasks that are most important to complete first. AI written, looks pretty good. Let's see what else it's given us. This curriculum will teach supervisors and managers how to help their employees prioritize tasks by using the Eisenhower matrix. Trainees will learn how to bring clarity to priorities. I'm not a big fan of this one. It's getting a few words wrong, particularly curriculum. Curriculum, this is not a curriculum, even though it is made up of a curriculum. Curriculum is more of a variety of content that we're going going to use for the training, this is a training in and of itself. So that's what we want to prepare them for. I think the previous one, the workplace training module, is a better term to use for describing this training. And then trainees, I don't know if I like using trainees because the audience is going to be supervisors and managers, not trainees. And trainees in certain workplaces have a very specific definition. So we're going to steer clear of that one. Let's see what the next one is. The Eisenhower Matrix is a simple yet powerful tool that helps you prioritize tasks by placing them into 4 quadrants. I already can tell this is getting into too much detail for the very beginning. This may be good for some later content, but for the starting introduction to this training, it jumps in too quickly. So I'm going to pass up this one. The Eisenhower Matrix is an easy-to-use tool that has the power to transform how. Again, jumps right into the Eisenhower Matrix. I think this would be good for a follow-up paragraph, but I think this top one right here, this workplace training module, sets the scene that this is a workplace training module for supervisors and managers, lets them know who the audience is. So if you're not a supervisor or manager and you're taking this may not be the right thing for you, and will help them prioritize your work. It uses the Eisenhower Matrix. So this is giving a great explanation, an overview of what they're talking about without providing them too much details to inundate them and perhaps build up that cognitive load that we want to avoid. This is just an easing in, an introduction, an overview of what they're going to learn. So I think that top one, this first one, is fantastic. So I'll go ahead and hit copy. So I copied that content into my clipboard and I'm going to paste it into this section right here. And this section is where we're going to generate even more content. So the AI is now asking us to press tab to write more. So if we press tab right now, it is going to write more content for us. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'll hit tab and it's combobulating the information and it has provided us with this option. This training will help you understand how to prioritize your work and how to focus on the most important tasks first. You will learn about the Eisenhower Matrix and how it can help you prioritize your work. Okay, that's all right, but it kind of just restated what we already had put. It gets in a little bit more detail, but it's basically restating it. And that is a problem with the AI written content, is that it can get very repetitive. It's just repeating the same thing over and over, but in a new way. And so we want to kind of keep an eye on that. So I'm going to see what other options there are. And it has provided us 5 options here. So I'm going to go to the next one and see what it's providing us. The Eisenhower Matrix is a time management tool that helps you prioritize tasks. It was created by former U.S. President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who believed that every task should be assessed based on urgency and importance to determine whether it should be completed now or later. I love it. I love it. In fact, when I was thinking about this, I was thinking, I got to provide them some insights into why it's called the Eisenhower Matrix. Grab their attention and ask them, hey, where's the background to this? And that's perfect. I think it tells them it did come from Dwight D. Eisenhower. So we're going to go ahead and add that one to the editor. So click on that. Now in the last section, so you see there it's added all in there. So now it's asking us to tab for more written content. And we can have the AI just write more content for us. But in this last section, we're going to keep this very short because it's just a quick introductory video, maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute. So we want to keep this very, very short. And the last bit of information I want to relay to the learners is what's in it for them. What are they going to get out of this? How is it going to improve themselves or improve their abilities after their training? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lead the AI into providing me that content. In fact, let's see what it's going to give me just right off without leading it in. I'll hit tab, it's writing the content for us. And the Eisenhower Matrix is based off of 4 quadrants: urgent, important, important and urgent. It goes into details about the Eisenhower Matrix, not what we're looking for. Let's see what other options it's giving us. The Eisenhower Matrix consists of 4 quadrants. That shows, again, it's giving us the whole thing about the quadrants. Don't want to talk about that yet. Yep, more about the 4 quadrants. Don't want to talk about that. More 4 quadrants. And it's the Eisenhower is named after, and it talks about Dwight D. Eisenhower, where it came from again. So you can see there that it's repeating itself. It's repeating itself. So it is not giving us the content that we really want. I really want to have this last paragraph, this last bit of text, tell the audience what they're going to get out of this. So let's lead it on its way to provide us that information. By the end of this training, you will be able to, let's see what it gives us with that tab. Now, I'm writing this as kind of a learning objective, but you may notice that since it's an introduction, I don't want to get really into details about the ins and outs of learning objectives. We've already acknowledged the audience, so the A, B, C, Ds: audience, behavior, condition, and degree. And you want to have those very specific, actionable behaviors that are demonstrable, criterias and degrees of success. We don't necessarily want to get into all of that detail in this overview, even though I've kind of started writing it as a learning objective. So we want to keep it a little bit more broad-based, a little bit more ambiguous overview, so we don't need to get into that much detail here. All right, you'll be able to use the matrix to decide which tasks in your life are most important and urgent so that you can focus on completing them first. This module includes a worksheet and several. I don't want it to tell me what it's going to include, so I'm going to pass that one up. You'll be able to use the Eisenhower matrix to help you manage your time more effectively. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Short, sweet, but let's see what else it has. You'll be able to create your own Eisenhower matrix and use it to prioritize the task. You'll also learn how to implement the matrix into your daily work life. Pretty good too. Be able to use the Eisenhower matrix to prioritize tasks, determine which ones are most important and urgent, then choose which ones should be completed first. Okay, pretty good too. Eisenhower prioritize. You'll learn how to analyze tasks based on urgency. Yeah, that's all right. It's more about learning objectives there. I don't want to get into much detail. I think I want to stick with this one right here, number 3, I think it was. To create your own Eisenhower and use it to prioritize the tasks. You will also learn how to implement the matrix into your daily work life. Or was it number 2? You know what? Short and sweet is great. You'll be able to use the Eisenhower matrix to manage your time more effectively. Very broad, it doesn't get into a lot of detail. We'll leave the detail for when we jump into the actual training. So I think that was good. I think that's a good one. We'll go ahead and add that. And boom, we have our short script for creating our video. And we're going to take this content. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight it all, copy it to my clipboard by pressing Control-C. And then I'm going to bring it over to Steve.ai. And Steve.ai will help us create this video. And so I'm going to go ahead and hit create. I've already created an account. So I will create a video project. And it is going to give us some tutorials. I'm still in the trial version. And I think you can create 3 videos that each have 30 scenes in it. Now, a scene is basically a line of text, no more than 200 characters, and you'll see how that works coming up here. So it basically can create 3 about 3 minutes long, 3-minute long videos is what it can create for you in the trial version. So if you do want to increase that and make more videos, you'll have to create a new trial account or sign up for and pay for the premium service. And so it can create both live video or animations, and we're going to stick to a live video for this one. And it can create a horizontal, vertical, or square video depending on where you're planning on delivering it. So if you're going to be delivering this on some kind of social media site, Instagram or wherever uses Square these days, then actually I think Instagram still does, you can create those. But we're going to stick with the standard horizontal landscape format for creating our video. So I'll select that one. And now it also has AI-driven writing services, so it can actually write your own script. But since we have written our own script in copy.ai, we're going to skip this whole process because I found that the Steve.ai is a little bit more narrow in its script writing capabilities, so that's why I prefer using copy.ai. And there are a variety of other artificial intelligence-driven writing resources online, such as Jenny.ai is another great one. So you can use whatever one you like, but I'm just featuring copy.ai right now because that one seemed to be the easiest to use for this purpose at least. All right, so we've got the scene written here, and it says scene 1. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paste in our content, and it will automatically separate each line of the content into a separate scene. So we've got 5 scenes in this. Now, each scene is basically, if you think like a PowerPoint presentation, that's kind of what the video creates, or the kind of what's the kind of that's a format. Think of a PowerPoint presentation with different slides, but each slide is a video, and each scene is one of those slides. It's going to have the text as we have it written in here, and so that's what each scene. So you can create up to 30 scenes in the trial version, and no scene can be more than 200 characters. In fact, if we were to write some extra, actually, you see here it says 199 out of 200 characters, so we're right at that limit. And if we write a little bit more and say, "Hello, how are you?" it's going to go red to say, hey, you're over your limit. So you're going to have to either push that extra content into a separate scene, or consolidate it a bit, eliminate some words and characters just to bring it into that 200-point character limit. Now, one thing I do notice, and this is just based off of experience, when you have periods in the middle of, well, I guess US was okay, but you see it says U period S period and then Dwight D period Eisenhower. In my previous experience, when I was playing around with this before, I found that US seems to read fine because it's going to have voiceover narration. It's going to give voiceover narration, but the period at the end or at Dwight D Eisenhower ends up creating a long pause. It's a little distracting, so I'm going to remove that one. And you may have to do some cleanup work on your text to make sure that it reads correctly, because this does have a text to speech feature, so it will actually read what you've written here in your video. So all right, looks like we have all of our scenes, or 5 scenes here. None are over 200 characters. So I think we're ready to start creating the actual video. And down here is a section on what we are, more information we're giving to the algorithm to help us create that video, to find stock video images or stock videos to insert into our full video. And what is our video about? It wants to know, so we can look for the proper video content to add. And R is on workplace training. There we go. Let's see if it does it with that. Now, the type of video that we want to create, it's either live video or animation. We're going to stick with that live. Now, sources. There are premium video sources available that you could pay for and get some higher quality. Actually, even the free ones are pretty high quality, but you can get more options available if you were to pay for the premium or the premium elite services there. But we're going to stick with the free. And then we have these other options down here. We can add music. We'll certainly add music to this. Add that voiceover. That's that text-to-speech voiceover. And if I click on that, it gives us some options here to choose from. We've got a variety of different styles of English to read from. We'll stick with the US English. And we're going to choose a male voice. And we have Justin's voice here. So let's listen to see what Justin's voice sounds like.
Hello, I am Justin from Steve. I'm one of the voices you can use to make your text lifelike.
Sounds like a kid. I don't think it's going to be very appropriate for our video. So let's see what other voices are available. There's Kevin, not me, who's a child. So no, we're not going to use that one. I think those are also premium voices, Joey and Kevin there. But let's see Matthew. Let's check out Matthew.
Hello, I am Matthew from Steve. I'm one of the voices you can use to make your text lifelike.
I think that works. I think that works out great. In fact, if you have worked in Storyline 360, that voice may sound very familiar. I believe they pulled the same voices from Storyline's text-to-speech option and inputted them in here. So it's a very familiar voice if you're familiar with Storyline 360. All right, so we've got our US English male Matthew voice, and we're going to click on the Generate Voice, and it will now create that voice for us into our video. And the last option we have here is auto highlight. And what this does is it highlights keywords in each of the scenes. because it's going to provide text on the screen of what we wrote, and it's going to highlight some of the key words in there. And that is a very helpful pedagogical or andragogical tool to demonstrate and give that emphasis on what is important in this training. So we're going to go ahead and select that, and you'll see that when we create the video that some of the words will be highlighted or be a different color. So we'll have that selected and see how that works. Now here is estimated video duration. It's giving us an estimate of how long the video is going to be, and I find that this is a little bit off by I don't know, maybe 10% I find, but we're going to find out because it will give us a final video duration after we process the video. So let's go ahead and click next. And now it's going to ask us to choose a design. What type of design do we want to use for the video? And it provides us 5 different options. In the free version, the trial version, has these 5 different options. And I believe if you upgrade to premium, you'll get even more. So yeah, it has 5 different options here. We're going to go ahead and select this one. And I really like this one because it has white text. And some of the other ones, they will put white text right on top of the video, and if the video is kind of light, it may be difficult to read that white text. So this one does a pretty good job about putting a backing, kind of a solid backing behind all the text. It makes it very easy to read. So we'll go ahead and select that one. And you see the scene is loading, is now processing and gathering clips based on the information we've provided it, and now it will have our video here. We have our video. So we can preview through the video and see what it looks like.
This workplace training module for supervisors and managers will help you prioritize your work. Using the Eisenhower matrix,
now, as I'm watching this, I'm kind of keeping an eye on the videos and seeing if they're appropriate or if they match. Like this one, it's kind of hard to see what's going on.
The Eisenhower matrix is a time management tool that helps you prioritize tasks.
I don't know if I like that or not.
It was created by former U.S. President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who believed that every task should be assessed based on urgency and importance to determine whether it should be completed now or later. By the end of this training, you will be able to use the Eisenhower matrix
reading Matrix and finding some Matrix-style video and putting it in there. That's why we get that kind of green digital effect. You know, I don't think I like the choices it made on these videos. Some of them are okay. I think this first one is all right. Even though if you notice down here in the scenes, it has the picture, the video right here, and it looks like it's a portrait video. And so it can pull portrait videos and then zoom in and make them fill the screen, because a portrait video on a horizontal or landscape style video may, if they just plop it in there, and you'll get white space or black space on the sides. So it's zoomed in, so it covers it covers the full screen, but then crops the top and bottom. And in that zooming process, you're going to get some lesser quality. As you're zooming in, you're gonna the quality, the resolution's gonna be reduced. So sometimes in doing that, choosing those videos, you might have to swap them out if you don't like the quality of them. However, this one looks pretty good. I mean, the quality looks decent. Let's watch this first part again.
This workplace training module for supervisors and managers will help you prioritize your work.
She looks busy. She looks busy. So I think that's a good kind of introduction video. So we'll keep with that one. Let's go to the next scene. This is the one, again, it's portrait style. So it's kind of, see, it's a little bit pixelated there. So I'm not a big fan of that. What I'll do is I'm going to swap this video out. So I'll click the swap button. And now it is going to take us over to some stock videos that we can choose from to add to that scene. And all of these are based off of whatever text that is in that scene. So it's pulling the keywords from the text that we provided it and searching and pulling up these videos and presenting them as options. Now, some of these videos you'll notice have little blue items here. Those are premium videos. There's some that have the little orange, which are elite. So those are paid videos. And if we added those to it, in fact, let's try to add one of them. And it has, you can barely see it, there's this Getty Images. It's got a watermarked image. So you can add the watermarked image, but having a watermarked image in your video is not great, so I don't want to do that. I'm going to swap that out for one that is free, that does not have the watermark, and you can change that by going show all, free. Go to free, and now it'll only show you the free videos. And let's see, so the scene I think we want here, or the video we want here, is something that looks like a workplace action happening, some kind of workplace action. In fact, I really like this one with somebody writing. They got all these papers and everything. Kind of looks like they're a little disorganized, and they may need the help of a prioritization tool such as the Eisenhower matrix. So I think we'll go ahead and grab that one and add that into it. And then, so I think that looks great. Let's go to the next one. So this one, Eisenhower matrix, is the time management tool. So I can see why it shows these clocks here. However, with how the text is arranged, it's kind of covering up a little too much. We may need to swap this video out, or we can change the layout. And there's a layout change option here. So I'm going to click on that and see if there's other options for the layout. And I see a good one. This one right here looks really good. It has the text off to the right while the stopwatches are on the left. So I think that's a good one. We'll go ahead and select that. And now let's go to the next scene. So this one says it was created by former U.S. President Dwight D. Eisenhower, believed that every task should be assessed based on urgency, but it has this gentleman who doesn't look too happy. From what I remember, I know we can't really see it on this video because it's covered up by the text, but from what I remember, he's holding a sign that says, "Not my president," which is not something we really want to have. It's not appropriate for this, so we're going to swap this video out, and we're going to grab something that's representative of Dwight D. Eisenhower, and maybe something like the American flag. So again, I'm going to switch to free. And instead of selecting images or videos that are provided to us here, I'm going to type in a new search word, American flag, and let it come up with some American flag videos that we can add to this video in this scene. And there we go. We've got a few American flags here now popping up. And I think I'm going to choose, I think if you scroll down, yeah, there's even more down here. So it's going to continue loading more and more. Of course, it puts the most relevant at the top. And as you scroll down, it gets less and less relevant. But you could find some diamonds in the rough down there. If you're having trouble finding the right video, try a different keyword and search down, search down, search down. You could find something that works out really well and unexpectedly so. But for right now, I really like this flag right here. It's, excuse me. It's dark, you can see it well, it's waving. I think it works out great, and in fact, I think it works great with the text and where it is, so I don't even need to reformat it, reformat the text in a different layout. I think it works great. All right, let's go to scene 5. Now, scene 5 is that matrix style shot. We don't really want to have that. I think what we need to have here is something that shows success, something that shows that someone has successfully done something at work. So we're going to go ahead and swap out the image again. We're going to change this over to free. And let's see what options it's providing us. Looks like some people are hard at work, but not really showing a whole lot of success here. So let's type in another keyword, such as teamwork, and see what happens there, because from what I remember, and you'll get familiar with these stock images when you do a lot of instructional video creation content, and you're using stock sources, you get kind of used to what videos pop up and what are some keywords that you can put in to find some videos, and you'll start identifying videos. You'll start recognizing them in other people's videos too. And here's one. I recognize this one. This one's a great one because this shows that a team has succeeded, workplace success. That's what you're gonna have when you use the Eisenhower matrix. So we're gonna select that one and plop that in there. And then we will play the whole video to see if this is going to work out well. So I'm going to just do another preview of the entire video.
This workplace training module for supervisors and managers will help you prioritize your work. Using the Eisenhower matrix, you will learn to analyze tasks based on urgency and importance, then choose the tasks that are most important to complete first. The Eisenhower matrix is a time management tool that helps you prioritize tasks. It was created by former U.S. President Dwight D.
So
Eisenhower,
I think our text is good, our voiceover is good, videos are good. Music is a little distracting. Not a big fan of this music.
By the end of this training, you will be.
Now this is what we're looking at right now is a not a full render. It's kind of like a preview render. So there's little jumps and everything. When we do a final render on it, it'll look fine. But I'm not a big fan of that music. So let's switch out that music, and there is audio right here. So let's click on audio, and we can change out the voice or we can change out the music. So I'm going to go ahead and select music, and I'm going to change over because there are paid music and there is free music. So I'm going to hit free, and here's a variety of music you can choose. So not a whole lot of options in the music, but you can also add your own if you like. But there is quite a few here, and I think I like this Pipe Dream one. It kind of is a starting your day off, get your brain ticking sort of style song. I think it'll work for this video. So I'm going to select that, add that in. And now I think we're pretty much ready to go. We can do a last preview. We won't watch the whole thing, just...
This workplace training module for supervisors and managers will help you prioritize your work.
I think I like it. So we're going to go to publish now. So we'll hit publish. And now it is allowing us to download the video. So when we hit download, it is going to render the video. It'll give us a last preview here if we wanted to preview it, but we've already previewed it. I'm comfortable with it, so I'm going to just download the video, and now it'll render the whole video out and provide us with a link that we can use to just download the MP4 video all ready to go. So that is going to take a few minutes to do. I've had, depending on the length of your video and what's the resolution of some of the video clips that you added, it could take a little while. I've had a video take as long as an hour to render, but some shorter ones could take 5-10 minutes. So it really depends on how much material, how much content you added to it, and how long it'll take. But the really nice thing is that you don't need to sit here and babysit it and watch it to find out if it's done. You could step away from your computer, you could go do other tasks, you could do something else, and it will email you a link telling you that it's ready to download with a link right there to hit it, boom, immediately start downloading. So very handy that you don't have to babysit. 'Cause I hate babysitting computer processes. I really hate doing it. I like to keep active. I like to keep my projects going, not have to sit there and wait for a render to happen. So that is a really nice feature. Now, while we're waiting for this to compress and render and export and provide us that link, I'm going to show you kind of a bonus thing, a bonus feature that you could use of AI-driven resources to add even more quality, more value to your videos. And it's about the voiceover. So the voiceover that Steve.ai uses is a kind of generic voiceover. We identified that it was available in Storyline. You'll probably find it in other places as well. But how would you like it if you had a celebrity do a voiceover for your instructional project? I think that would be fantastic. I think it would really grab attention, and you can do that. You can do that with a site called FakeU. FakeU is a user-generated voices of real celebrities and cartoon characters and superheroes and all sorts of stuff. And what you can do is, like here, we have Morgan Freeman available, and who wouldn't want to have Morgan Freeman narrate their instructional content? But you click here and you've got a litany of voices. There they are, a litany of voices popping up here. Mr. Bean, I'd be interested on Mr. Bean, let's see. It's all categorized as well, so you can go to cartoons. See, there's Abraham Simpson. I think that's from The Simpsons. Bart Simpson. You've got Buzz Lightyear. So tons of voices to choose from, narrator voices, real life voices, announcers, real people. Let's try some real people. Let's see who's in real people. and Albert Einstein. We've got Ben Shapiro, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, Danny DeVito. So it really runs the gamut on who you can choose. Ooh, I see Alan Rickman. How about we have Alan Rickman do some narration for us? Mr. Hans Gruber himself. Rest in peace, Alan Rickman. Such a great voice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select Alan Rickman as my voice, and I'm going to go back over to my copy. Now, I'll note that you don't want to add all of the written content for the voice, the AI voice, to read for you, because the AI voice, it can error out if you put too much content in there, too much stuff for it to read. So I like to section it off in just sentence by sentence, which works out well because Steve.ai generates its scenes sentence by sentence. So let's keep the voiceover in the same way. So I'm going to copy and paste that first line of text over to the fake you with Alan Rickman chosen, and I'm just going to click speak. And now it's going to it's pending, it's rendering, and it's going to eventually kick out a audio file that we can download of Alan Rickman reading this. And this could take, I've had it take anywhere between 10 seconds to 10 minutes. It varies quite a bit. I believe it varies based on current usage. So if the site is seeing a lot of use, then it will take longer. But if there's not as much people using it at that moment, it could go pretty quick. In fact, I was doing some tests on it like 2 o'clock in the morning, and it was kicking out videos left and right really quick. It was great. But then I once did it about 6 o'clock in the evening. I guess everybody's coming home from work and playing around with it, and it was taking a long time. I also found that when you generate it on a Mac, it seems to take a lot longer as well, almost double or triple the amount of time. So if you have a PC, use the PC to generate this voiceover, and be ready to be patient. It's actually taking a bit longer than normal right now. Maybe it's seeing a lot of usage. So it's almost 9 a.m. in the morning, so perhaps there's just a lot of people that are using it to generate content today. So we'll let that sit for a bit, but let me explain a little bit about what we can do with these audio files once we have that video. Let's see how Steve.ai is doing. Oh, it looks like it's almost done. It's almost done. Now we can't add that voiceover directly into the video that we generated here. We're going to have to use some video editing software after the fact to generate that, to add those voiceovers, celebrity voiceovers, to this video. So if you have Adobe Premiere, Camtasia, or even some native free video editing software that's available on your computer, you can use that to pop in those audios, those voiceovers, the celebrity voiceovers to your training project. Of course, you would have to remove the music and the voiceover that's already there, or you can just keep the music there, remove the voiceover, really depending on how what you chose Steve AI to create for you. Right now, we're creating a video that has the music, has the voiceover, and of course the video, and so we wouldn't necessarily be able to remove the voiceover from the music, but if we created one just with music, then I think would be good. We could then just pop that video into our video editing software and then add the fake you voices to it, and it would then we would just line them up, make sure they match the slides, and be good to go. Looks like Alan Rickman is done reading our script here, so let's hear what he sounds like.
This work-list training module for supervisors and managers will help you prioritize your work.
Nice. You notice, not perfect. It sounds a little robotic at places, but I think it's still pretty good. It's still pretty good. And so we can take another line of text. Now that we have the first one, we'll take the next line of text. I will copy it and paste it into fake you, and hit speak and let it render out again. And while it's doing that, so you can actually do all your lines of text, and it will keep all of them right down here, as long as you don't reload the page or anything. So it'll keep all of them right here, and you can just go through and download them by clicking on these three little dots there, and there's a download link. So you can click download, and it'll download the audio file to your computer, and you can then add that to your video project in your post-production editing tool. So let's see how Steve.ai is doing. Oh, looks like it's almost there, still creating that link. So we'll just give it another few moments and while it's doing that, let's take a little bit, let's go back to copy.ai for a moment, and I'll explain a little bit about some other features that it has. So let's go back to copy.ai there, to the main dashboard, and in here you can create a variety of other items here, your blog posts, social media posts, emails. So if you have trouble writing an email, you just don't know how to write something or say something that you want to get across, it can help you do that. It has fun, things for fun. Let's click on fun. What does it have here? Motivational quotes. It can search for a motivational quote for you, a song lyric, a short story, a dating profile even. So if you don't know how to write your dating profile, you're not too sure how to put yourself out there, you can use copy.ai to help you along. And not that I use it for dating profiles, but I do use this to help in my own writing. So not necessarily to write for me, but to help me keep my ideas going. You know, sometimes you get stuck in how to say something, and you know, you get kind of myopic in how you're writing, and you need something to help break up that thought pattern. And copy.ai is perfect for that. It really kind of gives you that step in the right direction to keep you going in writing. And frequently, when I do use copy.ai to write content for me, I will go back later. I'll put the content in as copy.ai had written for me, and I'll go back and read it later and realize, oh, that's not exactly what I want to say, and so I'll rewrite it. But in that meantime, from the time that I had copy.ai write the content for me, I've gone on to write a bunch of other content. So I've moved forward, I'm writing all this extra material, and then I'll go back, reread it, and I'm like, that's not exactly what I want to say, and I'll rewrite it. But it got me going. It got me the ball rolling and the gears going. So it helps out immensely if you get stuck in a little bit of a rut. You don't know how to restate something or how to write something in the right way. It can just get you going. It's real helpful. This one's still pending. Let's see how Steve.ai. Steve.ai is still creating that download link. So yeah, you may need to sit back and relax for a few moments and wait for it. Or you can open up another tool. You can even actually, what you could do is get all those fake you clips all ready to go beforehand. And then go back and get your project file ready for whatever video editing program you're going to be using. So there's a lot of other activities you can do while you're waiting for rendering. But yeah, it could take a little bit of time. So you have to be patient. So we're gonna hold off for just a moment. We're gonna fast forward through this and let's see how long it takes to pick up. Well, it looks like Fake You has generated its audio link. Let's listen to Alan Rickman on his next line.
Using the Eisenhower matrix, you will learn to analyze tasks based on urgency and importance. Then choose the tasks that are most important to complete first.
Sounds pretty good. A little bit robotic still, but still good. And you know what I've noticed about robotic voiceovers? They're becoming more normalized in the culture. Now, people of maybe of the older generation that are used to real people speaking their voiceovers, that'll sound very strange and foreign to them. It won't sound right. You know, it kind of fits into that uncanny valley of acceptance. But the younger generation these days, they're really accepting of it. In fact, a lot of social media, TikToks, YouTube shorts and videos and everything, they're narrated by very robotic voices. And as long as you can understand them, they seem okay with it. They're just fine with it, and actually sometimes they prefer them. They're actually sources of memes sometimes. I've had a few strange ways in which text-to-speech, the AI has generated text-to-speech and makes kind of weird ways to say words, and it's kind of caught on and been made fun of, and that becomes part of the normal parlance of how the AI says it. So a little unusual, but it can be really fun sometimes on how the AI will say things. Alright, so it looks like the video is done. I just received an email notification that the video is complete. For some reason it is not updated right here, so that's an important thing to remember. Keep an eye on your emails and that'll notify you when it's done. So I'm just going to go back to Steve.ai, the main dashboard, and let's go to my exports. And there's an export. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that one. And there it is. That's the video that we just created. I'm going to download it.
This workplace training module for supervisors and managers will help you prioritize your work. Using the Eisenhower matrix, you will learn to analyze tasks based on urgency and importance, then choose the tasks that are most important to complete first. The
You notice it has a little watermark down there. If you do purchase the premium version, you will remove that watermark. Will be removed.
It was created by former U.S. President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who believed that every task should be assessed based on urgency and importance to determine whether it should be completed now or later. By the end of this training, you will be able to use the Eisenhower matrix to help you manage your time more effectively.
Short, sweet, concise. Steve.ai adds a little outro there that you could cut out if you would like. But yeah, that is Steve.ai with Copy.ai, AI-driven content, written content and created content for you. Very fast and very easy. And on a expedited workflow, once you get used to it and know what to look for and know what keywords to put in, you can really kick out these videos very quick. Very quick, just a couple minutes per video sometimes. So highly recommend trying out Steve.ai and Copy.ai for your video creation tools, and don't forget about Fake You for that celebrity voiceovers, text-to-speech celebrity voiceovers. Give them a try, and I will see you next time. And have a good one, everybody.